Hey, everybody, welcome out to the Board Game Legends very first State of the Union address or State of the Legends address. I'm Chris Doelle, joined always with Mighty Mike Wright.
All right. So, man, Chris, we've been having a lot of fun with our games, and I can't wait to see what you got here for this long-awaited State of the Legends.
Is it long-awaited?
Yes.
I just drafted up this morning.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so yeah, we've been waiting for minutes to do this. Now, I just wanted to update everybody on what's going on, because I get a lot of questions about what's next, what's happening, what's going on. Are you going to do this sport? Are you going to do that sport? And no, spoiler alert, there's no new sports being announced on this. But
What?
Not yet. Not yet. We got a lot of work to do right now. But yeah, March 2022. Can't believe it's already here, or will be by the time this is out. And tell me, Mike, what do you have going on right now? I know you do a lot of really cool projects. I think you have more free time than I do.
I don't know about all that. I think I don't know what you do actually, but But yeah, I got a project in each of the games and going on, and you can see them on our Facebook group. And I think we're going to start posting a lot more in the Delphi forums and Board Game Geek and anywhere else we can find. Because a lot of people keep telling us, y'all need to have more of a presence out there. So I think we ought to follow their advice. And but let's start off with Friday Night Legends. Throughout the year we kept our. What are you doing?
I'm pointing to Friday Night Legends.
My goodness. All right. So during the year we kept our top 100 teams in the nation. That just freaks me out. So we kept our top 100 teams in the nation.
Right.
Rankings, and what we decided at the end of the year said, hey, let's have I didn't want to go all 100 teams and play each other. That would just take forever. But we decided on taking the top 20 and having a double elimination tournament. So 2 losses and you're out. So it's going by playing the teams that had number 1 play number 20 and on down the line. So almost done with week number 1 right now. So you can check that out on our Facebook group, and just search for Friday Night Legends in Facebook, and so that's going pretty cool right now. You have a couple upsets. So
tell me what was the biggest seed upset?
Oh, right now it's the very last game, and it was Katie playing Center Grove out of Indiana. And Center Grove was number 4, and I believe Katie was number 17 ranked. But when you talk about the top 100 in the nation, they're not that far apart. So that was kind of an upset. But Katie did beat them, even though Center Grove had more yards and they had more mistakes. But Katie won it 24-7, so they go to the winners bracket, and Center Grove falls down. But Center Grove, had over 350 yards of offense. They threw an interception in the end zone, the Katie end zone. They missed 4 field goals in the game, so could have been a lot closer, or even a Center Grove victory in this. But it's just just way that game worked out for them. So it's a. But the very next one's coming up. We still got Austin Westlake versus St. John Bosco, and then we have Mater Day, the number 1 team, going up against Dallas South Oak Cliff, Texas. Which I'm surprised South Oak Cliff made it, and we had several people on our Facebook group, because I put it out there. So, who would you like to see in the tournament? There's 2 or 3 people in our Facebook group, and plus, probably 5 or 6 emails came in, said they'd like to see them in the tournament. So even though they wound up the season ranked number 47 in our top 100, but they're in our top 20 teams going against each other, so they get to play made her day for their.
Oh boy,
that's
their reward.
Welcome to the group.
Nice.
So, but it's been real fun so far. We're almost to the end of that. Like I said, that first round.
Yeah.
So then the way I'll do this is the teams that won the first game will all play each other. The teams that lost will play each other. So you're going to already have some teams getting eliminated right off the bat.
Nice. Cool. All right. Well, we'll touch on the other projects and the other games as we go on. Next thing I wanted to mention was we've gotten such good feedback on Basketball Legends from the fact that we have women's teams, and I don't know, I've been a fan of women's basketball since I went to Stephen F. Austin, and they were ranked number 3 in the country at the time. I've been living here by Texas State and going to all their games the last couple of years. So I love the women's game. I was shocked the response outside of my house,
yes,
that people had to women's basketball. Very cool stuff.
I'm very surprised. Also, we've had people just email us, what is this? What's going on? Or why do you because there's no women's basketball anywhere.
As far as board games, I think we're it.
Yes. Yeah. So good stuff.
And so, in honor of that, and the fact that March is Women's History Month, we're going to do a special promo code for March. The code is WOMEN, WOMEN, and with it, you get 33% off any of the women's stuff. So you can get it off of custom teams. You can get it off of the college teams that we have out there. We've got some WNBA. We have some WBL.
Nice.
Some really cool stuff. And hopefully we'll continue to grow that library because I think they play, like I said, I love the game.
Yeah. And there are some dominating women's teams.
Yeah.
Some of those UConn teams. And I was like, when I was making them up, I was like, wow, they'd outscore on average. They outscored some people by 40 points.
Yeah.
So, but throughout the season, I'm like, man, I don't know how they're ever going to lose. And then I make up the next team and they're the same way. So it's going to be a lot of fun matchups.
Yeah. And the WNBA, it's another connection I have with women's basketball. Back when it launched, I think it was 87, right in there. The very first, the 4 first championships were won by the Houston Comets. I was doing photography for the Houston Comets. So all their home games, I'm sitting under the bucket on the floor taking shots. Nice. And really got to know Cheryl Swoops. Cynthia Cooper was my favorite. And Tina Thompson, the big 3. And like I said, 4 straight. They won the first 4 WNBA championships. I know we have one team. Hopefully we'll get some more of theirs in there too.
Definitely. And then, and I do have a project going on with them. I believe there was one of our Facebook members. He's looking into doing a project with women's teams, and that's going to be a lot of fun to see how that works out. Now, what I started off with, I got 40 teams just doing a bracket from there on. So I had 4 play-in games, mm-hmm. and then I started going down. I'm through with the play-in games, almost done with the first round of the because then it's just a single elimination tournament. So it's kind of like the NCAA tournament, but it has teams from 2010 to 2020. I took tried to get different teams. So I only had one Texas Tech team, one Kentucky team, one Kansas team, and then I tried to find different years where they were a Final Four team. So it has a lot of really good teams in it, and man, the action is just crazy so far. They're just some of these games just come down to the wire, and this game going either way, and sometimes the favorite just getting whooped. And so it's this is a very fun game we got here.
Yeah, one of the things I really love about Basketball Legends is that obviously our library right now is mostly full of really good teams. So all the games I've played have been super close until the very last one that I just played, and it was just a romping, and it was still fun.
Yeah. And then we had talked about that, not having any teams that were mediocre or not so good. And then my next, and what brought it about was you'd played Texas Tech and Baylor against each other. And I was like, man, that'd be kind of fun to play a conference.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I haven't put this on Facebook yet, I've been playing the games. And so I decided I'm going to play me a conference schedule, kind of the same way I did the Friday Night Legends game. It's not going to be an elimination tournament, but it's just going to be, they're going to play each other until I can determine this team's the number one team, this team's number two, number three, so it may only be about, 5 or 6 games each, but I looked and I saw that.
I thought you play each other twice and play.
Oh my goodness. That would take a while, but I decided I looked for the toughest conference rating wise, and it came out to be the Pac-12 surprisingly. Nice. So I was like, okay, we had some teams in our library that went, 6-22 during the season.
Nice.
So, and I'm through the first round on that, but I did it. The best team played the best team. Next two played the next. So the worst 2 teams in the league played each other, and so there hadn't been any blowouts yet. But I haven't had any top levels playing bad level yet. So, but I did have 2 for the first time. 2 teams that. I think one of them had won 9 games in the year and one had won 7. So not 2 very good teams, but whenever they played each other, it was a heck of a ball game.
Yeah, definitely. So probably we can, I assumed you played 2020-2021.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what we can look for in the library is some sets of conferences eventually.
Yeah, definitely. We already got the 2021 now Pac-12.
Pac-12, yeah,
in there. That's some really good teams. You had Final Four. I think it was UCLA made it to either the Final Four or the group of 8. So it was they did pretty well, and you had a couple of other teams in there do well. So it's if you'd have asked me before this, I wouldn't have picked the Pac-12. But then now that I looked at their teams, this is a pretty solid conference here. This is a lot of fun. So
nice. And I tell you one thing it has done for me. It's made me watch more college basketball.
It is.
Yeah. I was watching a game last night and texted you, and you're like, "I'm watching it."
Yeah, on it. So, but then we start to realize those things. Says, wow, this is a good offensive rebounding team, or this is a team. They don't have that many turnovers, or you start to watching how these teams are, and now that you've played the game, you go, oh, I see.
Have you in any of these games yet had an overtime game?
I have. Yeah, I've had a couple of them. Yeah, it's actually in my my tournament bracket, not in the Pac-12 one yet, but in the tournament game. And I had actually a double overtime game. So nice. Yeah, and I think your first was it your first game, or was it just your first women's game?
First women's game. Yeah,
you had an overtime game.
Yeah, and then the team that lost it on their only 3-point shot. They took the whole game. Nice. And they would have won it had they hit it. Yeah, and one thing you had mentioned earlier about Delphi forums, Board Game Geek forums. I want to try a contest this month and see how it works. So what I want you folks to do is go post, whether it's your game write-ups or whatever, on any forum outside of Facebook. Delphi forums, Tabletop Sports is a great one. Board Game Geek has tons of really cool spots to do things. Post something about one of our games, and then you can either share that post on the Facebook group or email it to myself or Mike, and I'll put our emails on here if you don't have them. You should by now. Yeah. But, and I think we're gonna, whoever does the most or the coolest or whatever, or maybe everybody who does it, we haven't decided yet, is going to get something cool. At the very least, going to get a free team sheet or 2.
There you go.
We'll give it a shot, because we do, like you said, we need to be out there, not just in our little cocoon of Facebook.
Definitely, So, but all right, Chris, what else we got? We got Saturday Legends.
Yeah. What you got going there?
In there, I have been posting this. Been doing a not really a replay. It's kind of like the Pac-12 when basketball is doing other way.
Everything's backwards. It confuses me.
But I went back to whenever the the most recent teams in the Big Ten joined, which was like Nebraska and Rutgers and those teams. And so there's 14 teams in the Big Ten.
Right.
Which
Yeah,
always
exactly.
but so I got 14 teams, but I did take different years from whenever they joined the Big Ten and tried to pick one of their better teams. It may not be their best, but it was probably one of their best teams for that team.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm doing the same thing with it. I've played the top two teams against each other, the next two, and then the bottom two teams against each other. And then I re-rank them. Winning teams play the winning teams, and losing teams play the losing teams. So you could be the number one, or like the very first game, the number one versus number two, which I've already put out there on our Facebook group site, which was Ohio State versus Wisconsin. And Wisconsin pulled out at the end, scored two touchdowns in the fourth quarter to win that one. So now Ohio State, 0-1, they're down in the bracket now. So it's not a double elimination or a single, but it's just whenever I can decide, okay, this team is definitely the number one team, definitely number two. So already Wisconsin has a step up on the people. So, but Wisconsin's next game is probably going to be they're going up against the next best team, could be a Penn State or Michigan State, mm-hmm. while Ohio State's going to get to play a Maryland or Illinois or somebody like that. So much easier contest since they lost. So, but that one has been pretty fun to play. And the Big Ten just has a huge following, and people have been going, "What? That's crazy!" Or I could see this happening, or even I figured it might be some kickback whenever Wisconsin beat Ohio State, but there were people out there going, "Oh yeah, Wisconsin always gives them trouble." So,
the reason Ohio State lost clearly is because you did not refer to them as the Ohio State.
My bad.
That's right. It's all your fault.
Yep.
Yeah, that annoys me every time I hear some player on a broadcast. Joe Smith, defensive back, the Ohio State.
Nice.
Okay, I'm just going to admit it. The next one is going to be curling legends.
What? You know what? You and I may be legends at curling. I saw our Olympic team. They look like a bunch of old men that just got off the couch.
I don't know. The thing is, I don't think a broom fits my hand, so it's the wrong size.
That's what our wives say anyway.
That's right. So, you got the wrong broom, honey. You got to pick a different one. Cool. All right. Well, that is our State of the Union, State of the Legends
address. State of the Legends, man. Get it right. We've been talking about this thing for years.
For years. Since about 45 minutes ago.
I like it.
All right. Thank you, guys. I can't thank you guys enough for all the support you have given to these games. We are overjoyed that these little creations we've done are out there in the world and people are having fun with them.
Definitely, and keep letting us know how your games go, man. I think sometimes we like reading about what happens, even sometimes more than we like playing them. But then I always like playing against you, Chris, because I like winning.
Whatever. Now we have coaches in our league who have seen us, have come to our meetups and all that, and I've got backup that will tell you Mike has never beaten me at any of these games. Nice. ever.
Something we forgot to mention, we're doing this through Zoom.
Yeah.
And we think we may have found a way where people can play against each other now using either this format or another format, something like this. Yeah. We can play Legends games against each other because we can create a deal where we can do a random number generation that shows up on the board or wherever, or share a document or whatever that does random number generation, and then that's your dice rolls. And then if you're playing, you don't have to do it on the basketball legends. You just got to roll and see what happens. Whether maybe something on there to keep track of how many cubes you got, for your adjustment boxes. Right. But in the football game, you just I got an inside run or whatever. and then play it like that. So we're working on that right now. So I think
and let us know if you're interested, because we can do it. We can do a hosted one even where we have our screen that shows the random number. You guys are in a box each, and picking your plays, and we can broadcast those.
Definitely. You and I tried it for a while now. I didn't really see any hiccups in it. I'd say, hey,
no.
This game's working. You can do this. So, but we just want to make it a little bit more prettier.
Yeah, definitely. And just let us know if you're interested, because we're always looking for somebody to kind of test it out with.
Definitely. So, all right, Chris, that's a great State of the Legends.
I love it. All right. Until next time, I'm Chris Doelle.
I'm Mike Wright.
And we'll catch you at the game.